Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Tuesday, the 23rd day of June, and this is CTV News. Tonight, police investigate some spending practices in the office of the Halifax mayor. Questionable conduct. Is trust eroding one city's police force? And a dynamic duo. Mother and daughter make their mark on the Kettlebell circus.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. The fate of a 46-year-old St. John man is tonight in the hands of a jury. He's accused of killing two boys, and the high-profile trial wrapped up with final arguments today. Deliberations broke off for the evening, but will resume in the morning. CTV's Avery McCrae has the details.
It was around 2 o'clock the 12-member jury was sent away by Justice Daryl Stevenson to decide if 46-year-old Roman Commissioner is guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder in the stabbing deaths of a 17-year-old boy and a 10-year-old boy in January of 2025. Their identity is protected by a publication ban, and the accused has pleaded not guilty to the charges. Commissioner is accused of stabbing the boys to death in a North End apartment on January 29th before attempting to take his own life with a nail gun to the head. First was the defense to deliver closing arguments, who argued to the jury that the Crown failed to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the accused did not deliberately plan to kill the boys. She reminded the jury that Commissioner had no memories of the hour leading up to the stabbings. He told you there was no plan, Shauna Wicks told the jury. He told you he could not even imagine it, and that the notion is 100%, 1,000% untrue. After nearly 10 minutes, it was the Crown's turn to deliver closing arguments, and they didn't mince their words. This is a case about desperate vengeance, the Crown stated, arguing the deaths were a way to get back at witness A, whose identity is protected by a publication ban. CD and AB did not die because of an accident or an unpreventable tragedy. They died because the accused used their lives as a weapon to execute a plan. Killings driven by vengeance. For over a half hour, the Crown detailed numerous events covered over the trial leading up to the day of the murders. That included detailing a letter written by Commissioner accepting responsibility and the recollection of the testimony of neighbors from that morning. Around 4:45, the jury requested to re-listen to the 3-hour testimony of witness A. Avery McCrae, CTV News, St. John.
A man is in hospital after a shooting in Halifax this morning. Police say the 25-year-old victim was found suffering from a gunshot wound just after 9:30 a.m. in the west end of the city. He was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police do not believe this was a random incident. The investigation, they say, is ongoing.
Get the Maritimes top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
As we told you last night, Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore's office is under police investigation after the Auditor General questioned some of the spending there. The AG says what he found was beyond his comfort zone, so he passed it on to investigators. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness has reaction tonight.
There's a storm brewing over Halifax City Hall.
It's disappointing.
Dartmouth Centre Councillor Sam Austin is talking about a police investigation that is underway after the city's Auditor General came across some spending by Mayor Andy Fillmore's office that caught his eye.
I referred my concerns to Halifax Regional Police for a couple of these because I felt that this was a little past my comfort zone, and they felt a little too close to the situation, so they passed it along to the RCMP.
This all happened between June 2025 and February 2026.
On May 22nd, the RCMP received a referral from Halifax Regional Police due to a possible conflict of interest in regards to financial irregularities identified by the Auditor General.
The AG focused on 2 procurements totaling more than $100,000, neither of which went out for tender. Part of that included payment of $14,000 to an outside speechwriter. Fillmore also billed his office for 2 external legal expenses for close to $8,000. The second of which came after being told the first one didn't comply with municipal policy.
The policy is clear and to do it a second time after you're told, that's concerning. And, I can see why the AG would want to flag that and send it off for investigation.
Mayor Fillmore says he accepts the AG's findings and the police investigation.
Obviously, it's a very uncomfortable place to be. Anyone would feel that. I'm certain that it will all be found to be unremarkable.
Regardless of the outcome of the investigation, Councillor Austin says incidents like this tend to erode the public's confidence in City Hall.
Ultimately, in politics, the actions of one reflect on all of us.
Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Halifax.
It was by-election day in Nova Scotia's newest provincial riding. It's known as Cheticamp-Margaree's Pleasant Bay, and it's hoped its creation will help give a bigger voice to Acadians in the province. In the end, it was a decisive victory for Houston Conservative Claude Bourgeois, beating Liberal candidate Dennis Cormier by 235 votes. New Democrat Trevor Poirier came a distant third, 258 votes overall, and the Green candidate there garnering 44 votes. Today's by-election marked the end of a short campaign, given that the new riding was announced less than 4 months ago. There are almost 4,000 registered electors in the riding, with nearly 2,700 casting ballots, so voter turnout a respectable 68.81%. There is good news for those traveling to and from PEI. A resurfacing project in the Confederation Bridge is now wrapped up. The work started early last month as part of the bridge's long-term maintenance program. Lane closures were in place, meaning travelers waited up to an hour to get across. A spokesperson for the span says paving was completed yesterday and the entire work zone has been dismantled, so traffic is flowing as it should. A former Fredericton police officer has been charged with perjury, uttering forged documents, and breach of trust. This comes just a year after a New Brunswick court stayed murder charges because of an evidentiary issue. One expert says this incident may further erode the public's trust in the force. CTV's Anna Mandan has more.
Fredericton Police Chief Gary Forward says a former constable has been charged after an independent investigation.
It is paramount that we communicate not only through our own means, but also with the media to let the public know that we're taking these steps to ensure that any event that's taking place within the organization is being dealt with swiftly.
According to Forward, information came to light back in November about the alleged actions of former constable Andrew Savoy. The chief says the force realized the issues may have been criminal in nature late last year. They brought in an outside police force to investigate. Savoy, who resigned in January of this year, is facing charges of perjury, uttering forged documents, and breach of trust.
We started to see some inconsistencies with what somebody said that they had for experience and what in reality they did not.
This comes nearly a year after Fredericton police came under scrutiny when 2 major homicide investigations were dropped due to what was called an insurmountable evidentiary issue. Chief Forward says Savoy's charges aren't related.
It is isolated. It is specific to an officer's reports and submissions.
But St. Thomas University professor Michael Boudreau says the charges may further erode the public's trust.
The question should be asked, what was the hiring and vetting process of their officers, this officer in particular?
Forward says, as far as he's aware, the charges will not impact any cases before the courts. But Boudreau says Savoy's charges could potentially be very serious.
Even if it's a minor case that has to be reviewed, it still sends the wrong message.
Savoy joined the force in 2023. The charges against him have not been proven in court. Anna Mandan, CTV News, Fredericton.
5 years in, more than $1 billion in spending, and Nova Scotia's promise to set up a universal mental health care system has a lot of gaps. That is according to the province's Auditor General, who made 10 recommendations today on how the government can improve services. Among other issues, Kim Adair noted there are no service standards in place to ensure there's equitable access to care across the province, and no reporting how the system is actually performing.
Like the location, hours of service, transportation, is it close to parking, bus routes, and then also identifying the needs in the particular areas of the province.
The challenging part, I think, for many governments across the country is just the demand, right? So we'll continue to do what we can to increase the access, and we'll get these recommendations done.
The department says it's committed to implementing the recommendations in the report. New Brunswick is planning a state funeral to honor a former lieutenant governor who died last week. Marilyn Trenholm Council was a family physician in Sackville and Port Elgin and appointed as the Queen's representative to the province by former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien in 1997. She was named to the Senate of Canada in 2003, and she died last Wednesday. Her funeral will be held on Friday. The ongoing movement toward reconciliation was in the spotlight at an event in Halifax tonight. Fireside chat at the Central Library, hosted by Mount St. Vincent's Child and Youth Study Development Department. The goal to shine a light on reconciliation in action.
Really, we want to get people realizing they're not alone. So if other people have these kinds of experiences, hopefully they see themselves reflected in these stories and find ways that they can also deal with their own traumas, their own challenges, and talk openly about their own stories.
The university also launching a new book available for free online, Reimagining the Spaces We Occupy, which highlights diverse women's stories. All right, still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll explore an art exhibit that gets up close and personal with the history of African Nova Scotians. Coming up next, marketing the new market.
People can come here and have events, they can celebrate.
It's a new look for an historic maritime tradition. We've got the update for you when we come back.
With Aaron and Peter. Join us all this week for the $1,000 Minute with Atlantic Superstore.
Celebrating 40 years and giving you $200 just for playing this week.
Quick little programming reminder that will affect our supper hour programs tomorrow. You'll know, of course, that TSN, CTV, and Crave are your homes for coverage of FIFA World Cup 2026. So to accommodate that on certain dates, CTV News at 5 and CTV News at 6 move to CTV 2, and that is the case tomorrow. So look for those programs there. If you want to see the full schedule, go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca. St. John City Market is marking its 150th year, surviving everything from a massive city fire to a global pandemic. Celebrations for the market's milestones are being matched with a series of changes meant to secure its future. Here's CTV's Nick Moore.
It's how every day starts and finishes at the St. John City Market. The historic Bell, part of a new rebranding of Canada's oldest continuously operating farmers market, celebrating 150 years. The Bell itself has just been refinished and is now more visible, and there's more changes to come. Renovations are well underway. New storefronts have just opened or are about to. John Hooper's timepiece statue will soon become the market centerpiece, and new seating will be built out in the actual market.
We really like the idea of having that indoor eating area so people can be in the market and they can see what's going on and they can see their pals and their pals can see them, and also we can just kind of have that hustle bustle right in this main area.
A year after the city market opened, it narrowly survived St. John's Great Fire of 1877. The city market is one of only 4 market buildings left in Canada, which predates the 1900s. Farmers used to drive horse and carts right into the main hall. A lot has changed between then and now, especially how people shop. Jill Lasky-Perry has been a vendor at the city market for 5 years and hopes more local residents will find their way back more often.
In making this space a little bit more of a flexible space so that it can be used for the community, that people can come here and have events, they can celebrate.
Anniversary celebrations at the city market will continue throughout the summer, leading to a major celebration later this fall. Nick Moore, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Nick. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, it's your complete maritime weather forecast. A wet, windy night to Wolf Park in Bedford tonight. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Tuesday night, 23rd day of June. Last night you told us it was going to be a rainy Tuesday, and by cracky, you were right.
And it continues on for parts of the Maritimes tonight and for some areas into Wednesday. The weather conditions through Wednesday kind of turn more showery in the Maritimes, especially by the afternoon hours. Taking a look at our weather systems map, this is being brought in by a low pressure system making its way up past Cape Cod. It's going to be running up the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia and then towards eastern areas of Newfoundland. Taking a look at what's still ahead. We are still seeing some rain, drizzle, and fog tonight for Prince Edward Island and for Nova Scotia. Now, New Brunswick is through most of this wet weather. Instead, tonight, they have some patchy drizzle and some fog. As we head into the start of the day on Wednesday, there will be one final round of rain and showers. It's going to work its way southwest to northeast across Nova Scotia. So expect another wet start to the day for both that province as well as Prince Edward Island. Now, this final round of rain will be exiting eastern areas of Nova Scotia, including Cape Breton, by early Wednesday afternoon. In behind it, a few parts of the Maritimes may see some sunny breaks for tomorrow. That includes the southwest of Nova Scotia and the province of New Brunswick. But for New Brunswick, mid to late afternoon and extending into early Wednesday evening, there's likely to be a few showers that pop up because conditions going to be a little bit unsettled in behind the passage of this weather system. And with those spotty showers late in the day tomorrow in New Brunswick, a chance that a few of them could develop into some small thunderstorms. Now, there are some rainfall warnings out around the southwest of Nova Scotia, extending up to Halifax County, where some overall rainfall totals could reach 30 to 50 plus millimeters in some cases. And the winds in the forecast for tomorrow, there'll be a change in the direction. As we get behind this weather system, the winds become north and northwest. They'll be a little bit gusty, some gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Pretty mild tonight, as far as the temperatures go. Most of the lows not much cooler than between 12 and 15 degrees. And then here's a look at your highs in the forecast for Wednesday. And across northern areas of New Brunswick, it's mostly high teens and low 20s, except 15 to 18 degrees on the coast. In central and southern areas of New Brunswick, a lot of high temperatures tomorrow between around 19 and 22 degrees. A little bit cooler around Moncton, the southeast, though. Expected to be a little bit cloudier tomorrow, maybe with a higher chance of a shower even in the afternoon, and the high temperature closer to 16. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow with high temperatures of 16 to 18 degrees. There'll be some rain showers around in the morning, then a lower chance of a shower in the afternoon. It will be rain and showers for eastern areas of Nova Scotia tomorrow with highs of 15 to 17 for Cape Breton and between 14 and 18 degrees for eastern and northern parts of the mainland. 18 for Amherst for tomorrow, and for Truro, the city center's Halifax, high temperatures near 20 degrees. There'll be some lighter rain and showers in the morning, then a lower chance of a shower in the afternoon. And some rain and some showers moving through the southwest of Nova Scotia first thing in the morning, and then some sunny breaks in the afternoon, which could allow for some high temperatures to get up to the high teens and low 20s. Taking a look at the extended forecast for New Brunswick, Thursday is looking like a very nice fair weather day. Mix of sun and cloud, high temperatures in the low 20s. There's a chance of showers on Friday. If those showers move in, of course, temperatures will cool off a few degrees. Also a chance of showers at the start of the weekend, but by the end of the weekend, the start of next week, temperatures are warming up, and we could have some high temperatures up in the high 20s. Chance of showers on Tuesday of next week. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, Thursday's looking like a pretty nice day. Mix of sun and cloud, high temperatures, high teens, low 20s. A chance of showers after that on Friday and Saturday, followed by a mix of sun and cloud. Some slightly warmer temperatures for Sunday and Monday. And then we've got a chance of showers on Tuesday of next week. And for Prince Edward Island in the forecast, a mix of sun and cloud on Thursday. High temperatures near 17 degrees, up to 20 on Friday with a chance of showers. Chance of showers in the start of the weekend Saturday. Some mix of sun and cloud after that for the end of the weekend at the start of next week. And a chance of showers on Tuesday. Bruce.
Right you are. Thanks, my friend. We'll step aside for just a couple of minutes. Stay with us. Be right back. A Halifax art exhibit is getting up close and personal with its portrayal of African Nova Scotians and their rich history. CTV's Vanessa Wright stopped by today for a preview of Through Generations.
They're Scotians. They're black Scotians from all over the province. And, you know, what's incredible is there's generations of different families, and they're people that you may interact with every single day if you're in province.
The photos were taken at an African Heritage Month gala 2 years ago. Recently, there was interest to repurpose the portraits and create this immersive exhibit called Through Generations. It captures the lineage and rich history of African Nova Scotians of all ages.
We've had a lot of tourists, people who are not from Nova Scotia, come in, and it pulls them in just based off of the high quality of the art, the high quality of the photographs and the story that they're telling. And so people want to know more is the main thing that I'm taking away is people go, well, where did this come from? What's the history here?
The exhibit officially opened up at the Tubi Theatre along Halifax's Quinpool Road and plans to stay open until September, keeping these friendly faces on display, hoping someone will ask about the story behind them. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa. Time for one last break tonight. Coming up, a Kettlebell mother and daughter who seem to have winning in their DNA. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a look at Fredericton this evening. Kaylin Mitchell with everything you need to know for this morning when we come back. Okay, it's Wednesday morning. We'll kick it off with the wake-up weather. Am I going to need the umbrella again tomorrow, or what do you think?
First thing in the morning, for sure. Umbrella weather to start the day. Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, final round of some rain and some showers moving through. It's going to be clearing the east of the region by the time we get to the early afternoon on Wednesday. Sun makes a little bit of an appearance in western areas of Nova Scotia tomorrow, as well as New Brunswick in the afternoon, though there will be a chance of some spotty showers, about 30–40% chance. But remember, in New Brunswick, any showers that do pop up afternoon into evening do come with a low risk of some small thunderstorms. Bruce.
Thank you, sir. See you again tomorrow. Well, becoming a world champion is impressive at any stage, but the mother-daughter duo you're about to meet really raised the bar on that. CTV's Brianne Foley introduces us to the pair that has winning in their DNA.
I started kettlebell lifting over 20 years ago and started the sport 16 years ago. One of the biggest questions people ask me is how I tend to continue to break world records and compete in the open division amongst the 20-year-olds at 45.
Jennifer Hindenberger is a 9-time world champion in kettlebell lifting. She started as a way to connect as a personal trainer. Jennifer started training her mother, Gina, about 15 years ago.
My daughter opened a kettlebell studio and asked me if I wanted to join her boot camp, so that's where I went. To spend time with my daughter, number one, and number two, just to get back into shape. Yeah, I used to be more athletic before I had children.
Becoming a multiple world champion herself, and at 69, lifting what many 20-year-olds couldn't do. It's for me, it's super satisfying to see how much she inspires all lifters, men, women of all ages.
The women use the sport as a way to heal. 18 years ago, Jennifer lost her brother, Gina her son. Kettlebell helped them cope and continues to push them.
It has been critical and real. My mom has become my best friend. And I think a lot of that has to do with the sport, because growing up, my mom, there were 4 of us, so my mom was busy working full-time plus hours and managing all 4 of us in sport.
Proving that family matters and age is just a number.
It's just mind over matter. You just gotta want to do it, and if you don't try, you'll never know. Just important to prove that at any age you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Continuing to break my own personal records and world records at 45.
Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Brianne. That is your late news for tonight. If you joined us a little bit late and you'd like a closer look at anything you've seen and a whole lot more, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It is, after all, your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening. We hope to see you again tomorrow.